Hello, and welcome to the Moonskull Death May Die extravaganza. I am your host, your ghostly host, the real-life fake wizard. I'm going to give a brief introduction to the game that we're playing for you today, and then I will bring the cast on to introduce themselves, and then we will get this exciting adventure on the road. We are playing the game called Pretend. Participants realize empathy through empathic narrative dynamics. This is a game that I've been developing over the last 2-ish years that's designed to give players much more of an empathetic approach to playing a character rather than just playing for stats or min-maxing or playing to max out damage done. This is much more for children and families and teachers. There's an educational presence to this. And so that's what we're going to be playing with today, a system that's a little bit more predicated on letting the players feel like they're characters. They may do things that are not in line with what their class is. They may pick up weapons along the way that have nothing to do with the class that they have. And that's going to open the door for a lot more possibilities. And so I'm really excited for you all to get to experience this. We are playing Death May Die, which is a... funny enough, because this is a precursor in terms of terminology leading into Strange Aeons. And for those of you who know Lovecraft, Death May Die and Strange Aeons are from the same sentence from Lovecraft. In Stranger Aeons, even Death May Die. Funny enough, that's when we're running our show. All right, let's move along here. The theme is death, macabre, darkness, vampiric perhaps. Time may tell. We'll get right into that. We're going to introduce the cast. Couple things here. Strange Aeons is still doing its fundraiser for character art, okay? So all of the funding and super chats that come in here are going to be going towards that. So we definitely want you to keep doing that, okay? And for every $20 spent here, the wonderful mods up in the sky are going to let me know that we need to deploy gifts from the sky that will descend down for the players. So I see some are already coming in. You keep those coming in. We're definitely going to, well, they're definitely going to need them. So shout out to you, chat. Let's go ahead and start bringing everybody on. Hail team. How we doing?
Hello.
Hello there.
Good. Hello there.
Welcome to Death May Die.
We got a bonus cat.
Bonus cat.
Does it talk? Does the cat talk?
I just heard him.
What was he saying? Was he trying to sell you car insurance?
Gay. Oh, we already knew that. Thank you, kid. That's
all
enough.
Right.
Enough out of you.
So what I want to do is we are starting our adventure here, and you guys are on the back of a carriage en route to a destination that you have been given a task to go on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the note that you guys would have, and that is going to introduce everything for you guys.
That wasn't mine.
Where did I put my note?
That was my cat.
My God. I need to pull up the note. It is...
Well-oiled machine, everyone.
Here. All right. Yeah, so all of you have this parchment, this scroll that each one of you was given one of these, and you would all know that it is from the Inquisitorius. Now, the Inquisitorius hires people to go out and hunt for monsters. Some of you might be Inquisitors, and I'll let you introduce yourselves when we get there. But for those of you who aren't, you would know that sometimes on tasks that are even bigger then perhaps they want to send too many Inquisitors, they will hire contractors. And so some of you may find yourselves as contractors being sent out on this mission. Perhaps you guys would have known each other before, perhaps not. It doesn't really matter. That is kind of up to you. You may have heard of each other before. You may have crossed each other's paths in the past, but it's not really going to be too important. That would be up to you, I will say, as you guys tell us who you are. But as you unravel this scroll, you'll see that it reads, "Hark, ye valiant souls clad in light! I, Agramon, High Inquisitor of this shadowed realm, doth beseech thine aid. In Bambaro, where the moon doth climb its zenith bold, spirits wander the cobbled ways, clad in mist and malice. Reports speak of their nightly march when Luna's beams do fullest blaze. Come swift with blade and prayer to quell this spectral tide, ere it doth o'erwhelm the frail hearts of men. And then you see very poignantly on the bottom, ... Wipe out the ghosts and you'll be paid handsomely in gold.
Why the hell did he waste all this paper for that for?
I don't know. I didn't even read the top bit. I just read the bottom.
If you guys want to roll a history check, or any of the Inquisitors rolling a history check, you would roll with momentum, which in this game it's you roll twice, you take the best roll. That's what momentum is. That'll come up quite a bit.
All right.
Well, me as the Grave Warden, I rolled a 5.
Sorry, you said momentum was. Say it again. Sorry.
Advantage.
Roll twice,
Just
take the
finding
best.
my
5.
For legal reasons, it's not advantage.
It's legally distinct advantage.
It's
And the
legally
magic-
distinct advantage. It's momentum.
The magic skills are the only ones that we use the D20 on.
Oh,
Sorry.
99% of the time, that's correct.
Okay. I got a 17.
Oh, we're rolling 20s. I was rolling a 6. Crap.
Oh, is it a 20? Oh.
It is a 20.
I heard everyone rolling low, so I had to ask just to make sure
I got
they
an
were rolling
18.
their 20s.
No, I just rolled really bad.
Oh,
Damn.
okay. Nat 20. So all of you, except for Thomas
Diggerson.
Diggerson.
Don't say that too fast.
I'm going to say it very slow with a pause. Thomas Diggerson. Yeah, you guys, all three of you would know that High Inquisitor Agramon is a little full of himself. And so he's a little full of himself in that he doth protest too much in the Shakespearean tone. Specifically, he's inspired by Shakespeare, and that's how he writes. But then you'll also know that all of you receive this, and it's kind of a stamp. But his secretary, Travis, kind of puts the notes on the bottom to make it easier for everybody to actually accomplish the jobs. So you three would know he didn't write that little memo on the bottom.
Travis, you goddamn hero.
Yeah,
He
nobody can
does
survive
love to
without Travis.
bloviate.
So we find you guys on the back of a carriage being pulled by a fine gentleman, and you are walking, you are traveling down a very dark and creepy road. Looks similar to my backdrop here, actually. This is the road that you're traveling down. It is dark and it is kind of spooky. Every so often you'll hear off in the distance.
Hark, Erudi.
I turn to Thomas Diggerson and say, "You're finally awake."
All right.
So you
Secret's out. I'm a dragonborn.
Was it the wolf that woke you?
Yes.
And here we find ourselves, you're traveling down this road to the town of Bambaro, where there is allegedly sightings of specters and ghosts in the night. Now, allegedly, meaning that's the rumor that's been floating around, and you guys are being sent in by the Inquisitorius to go in, find out if there's actually ghosts, and then snuff them out if there is really ghosts. So at this point, I'd like to go around, let you guys introduce yourselves and your characters to our lovely audience here today, starting with JT.
Oh boy. Okay, I'm playing a female Inquisitor elf named Aaliyah Drakenberg, and she's been raised from birth to kill monsters. She's very cold and calculating and very adept at what she does. She's just not very threatening when she speaks. In fact, most things laugh at her when she threatens them because she's so bad at it. But if you get close enough to her, she cuts your damn throat. Quick, 2 times. She's heard of Massimo before. She's supposedly a happier Inquisitor, where she is more quiet, calculating, and dark. That's really
Did my
JT,
sound
pull
go
your
down or
mic
is it
closer.
quiet?
Oh,
Oh,
can
okay.
you not
Yeah,
hear me?
I've been adjusting
Yeah,
my
we can't.
headphones. Like,
I'm gonna have you say that again.
quiet?
Totally, we missed most of that. It sounded
Seriously?
good.
What is wrong
Yeah,
with
in
my
effort,
Oh,
the effort was there, but we couldn't hear it.
You know what it is? With StreamYards, my mic does not work good. I do not know why. Everything else, perfectly fine. Anyhow,
We're roughing it.
Aaliyah Drakenberg, Inquisitor Elf, female. Very dark, very calculating and cold. When she tries to threaten people, they laugh at her because she's so bad at it. And you get close to her, she cuts you quick 2 times, is what I said. And I've heard of Massimo before, and he's more, from what she knows, is a happier fellow, but she doesn't really know him. At least that's what she's heard. I guess we'll find out. First mission together.
Well, let's jump over to Massimo. Velrock, go ahead and introduce yourself and your character.
Yeah, Massimo is a he's an elf, not full elf. He's got elven and human blood. He was raised by devout inquisitors who trained him essentially since birth. But he did not let the what's it called, the inquisitorial something? Inquisitorius. He did not let that sour his attitude on life. So he is very charming and quick-witted. He lies a lot. He pretends to be other people to get into places, even though his badge would probably get him into those places. He finds it more interesting to lie his way into situations or out of situations. And he claims a lot of stories of grandeur and heroism, and whether or not they're true, no one really knows. But he likes to add a little color to his Inquisitor outfit, so he makes sure he makes sure that he always looks good when fighting the undead, and he always makes sure that his hair and his curled mustache are finely coiffed. That's pretty much it.
Okay. Which takes me to Commander N.
Hello.
Go ahead and introduce yourself and your character.
My character is Aria Knightsmith. She is a human female, and she's what is in this world called a faithful, which is a mortal being who, for one reason or another, soul stretches across multiple planes or realms. And they use this strange ability they have to help those who are trapped between life and death cross over peacefully. And she's a woman about her late 20s, maybe early 30s. And she's always felt a strange connection to death because she had a twin sister that was born with her, but her sister was stillborn. So in a sense, she's always been touched by death. And it feels like that may be the reason why she can feel the other side, as it were. And because of that, people have always kind of, it's always been kind of an omen. So people have kind of avoided her in the past, but a lot of clergy and stuff have realized she has a gift for communing with the dead and helping those. So she's gained a reputation in that sense, at least. But she may not always be.
Woman.
So she may not always be the best in social situations just because people have avoided her, but she's earnest and willing to do the right thing.
Excellent. And there is, well, actually, you wouldn't be the last. There would have been another, and we'll get to them shortly. Laylines, go ahead and introduce yourself and your character.
What's up? I'm Laylines. I'm playing Thomas Diggerson. My paw was a digger. His paw before him was a digger. And I am a digger. I ward over I ward over graves. And I watch them for But I'm not like my paw. My paw was a lazy digger, ran off on his responsibilities, went out to get a couple cigarettes, and I never saw him again. I'm not one of them lazy diggers. I'm one of the good ones.
Digger,
At least
please.
that's what the town tells me. So Thomas Diggerson is a late 40s or early 50s ish halfling who digs graves. He puts things into graves, and whenever they get out, he puts them back in because the faithful aren't always around, and I'm the one you call when the faithful aren't around to guide them into the next life. I will force them into the next life. Yes, I'm a cemetery man. I carry a soft lantern and a hard, veiny shovel that I use to put down the undead.
So the priests help people get through life. He helps them when they actually die, and then if their soul's still around, then I help them. It's a multi-step process.
Exactly. He left for a cup of cigarettes.
We put him in the cemetery. He buries them in the cemetery, and he makes sure they leave.
I'm a grave digger.
There you go.
And priest make sure they don't die.
All right. And so thank you. So we were supposed to have one more player with us who is going to be hopefully joining us at some future venture, whether it be later today or perhaps the next time we gather around yon table here. But here's something that's very interesting in my games, and if that person is listening, here's the rule. When you are introduced into the next game, you have to have a reason for your character to have been zapped into another plane of existence. I don't know what that plane of existence looks like, and whatever you say is canon. So anything that player says, this is something I've introduced in a lot of my games, is there is such a thing as chaos magic, and sometimes it pulls people into different realities, different planes. And so when that person shows up, they have to tell us where they were and what they saw, and anything that they say is instantly canon. So with that, do with that what you will.
Well, it's not all that
so,
chaotic.
you guys...
She ran off with my brother, Nicholas Dickerson. They went to get married in the Shadow Realm. That's where they're honeymooning.
I figured he just slept in because he's old.
At least it wasn't Dick Dickerson.
Oh, that's Mada. You met him.
Once or twice.
Once
They
or
get their
twice.
cigarettes from the same shop.
They get the same cup of cigarettes.
He was a Cools man. I remember him.
So you guys find yourselves, you've been traveling for several days en route to this town of Bambaro. Now, you guys know that this place is very much out of the way. It's mostly a farm town. It's not even close to the Inquisitorius. It's taken you a very long time to get here. You're probably a little weary. You're probably a little aggravated. It's not nice weather out here. It's cold, but it's also humid, and that's weird. It shouldn't be. It's very unsettling. And there is a single person driving the chariot, and there's one horse, and it's an older horse, and it's a little slow. But what I'd like to know now is, what do you guys do? I turn it over to you. You are en route. You don't know how long it'll be until you get there, and the game is yours. Take it away.
Who is driving this cart?
So it is a gentleman by the name of Trinket, and the horse, and he's driving the horse. So I have an image here I will pull up, and I'll show you what he looks like in
Is
just
the horse
a second.
named Jiminy?
I was just about to make.
If I was smart enough, it would have been. No, it's Jasper.
No,
How
it's
about
rickety.
Pinocchio, at least?
Well, by the look of this chap, he's not exactly cute.
Oh, I was asking
But
about
yeah,
horses.
Well, you could always make
a
it
horse
a
isn't
jackass-
exactly cute either.
a jackass instead of a horse and name him Iger.
Well, okay. Well, I got a question.
got an
Aaliyah, you're a woman. You know how to style hair?
It's not really my thing.
Handsome young lad.
Well, I
he's handsome.
I won't be able to go to my regular barber since we're so far out of town. So just kind of, hoping one of you can help.
I tend to worry more about putting things in the ground and messing with my hair.
Well, you got to look good while you do it.
Why?
Well, because, for reasons.
I see. There's a reason we haven't met before, isn't there?
Massimo reaches his hand out. Massimo Delgado. Pleasure to meet you officially.
Aaliyah Drakenberg. Nice
You
to make your acquaintance.
you doing anything later?
Yes, killing whatever we're after.
Oh, okay.
Well, Mr. Gelato, I'm actually pretty good at dressing up corpses before they go into the ground. I could mess around with that mop that you have on top of your head.
Mop? I think you mean perfectly delicate and beautiful head of hair.
If I meant it, I would have said it.
Well, I'll just assume that's what you meant.
Cricket, how much further till we get to wherever the hells we're going?
Oh, it'll be a few more hours, yes. We're on our way, aren't we? You'll notice his, teeth are extremely strangely loose. Like, every time he laughs, you could see them wiggling in place.
Oh.
This guy looks like he probably belongs out here. Very strange fellow, not exactly kind-looking.
I look at Massimo. I go, "Are you sure we're not here to kill him?"
I don't know. I mean, every time I look at him, I just want to strangely get my hand in there and just pull those teeth out.
He does look like he needs a knife belongs in him somewhere.
He definitely looks like he crawled up out of the grave.
Well, I guess we'll know in time. Maybe he'll show his true colors, and then we can, dispatch of him.
I hope this isn't a trap.
If any of you want to roll a investigation check to see if, is this guy really who he says he is? You go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Alrighty.
Oh, boy.
I trust him implicitly.
I got a whole 5. Are we doing doubles again or just one? Because I got a 5.
Oh no, this is just normal.
Straight up 5.
On a 5, yeah, you can't really tell. Arya, you got a 17.
Yes.
Anybody who, what the rest of you get?
A 3.
I didn't roll. Massimo has
Thank
no
you for
reason to
making me
mistrust
feel
this guy.
Arya on a 17. As your companions might be looking at him like, what's this guy's deal? You realize he is just an incredibly unhealthy human.
Human?
You sure that's not a goblin?
Yeah, it's a goblin.
Yeah. This guy is a dangerously unhealthy human, and as you start looking at him, you're like, why has he got pointy ears? This dude's a human. What have you been into? And you realize he's got a crippling drug addiction that would cause this.
Excuse me, Mr. Cricket.
What?
I don't mean to pry, but how are you feeling?
I feel fantastic.
Yes, well, if for any reason you find yourself stuck between life and death, just let me know. I'm sure I can help.
Are you kidding me, Arya? He's the spitting image of health.
If you change your mind, the digger will take care of you.
Oh, I've got it. I've got my shovel right here. But to be honest, he looks healthier than my ex-wife, so...
Oh, did
You were married.
marry Circus's ex-wife?
Oh, yes, a Wyoming circus man came into town, and they split, so I got with her. Worst mistake of my life.
I think that's what he said.
I should have listened to him.
I must say, I think you're all foolish for going to Bambaro. It is spooky.
I box his long ears. I box them. Just grab them. I go, don't say these things.
Do you grab his ears?
Oh yeah, I grab his little ears and I just roll it like a little, like a little noogie.
Like you tug on his ears?
No, like I give him a little noogie ear, like he rolled his ear.
Oh God, I wish you would do that to me.
Why are you touching me there?
Want me to roll?
Well, how aggressively? Please describe how aggressively you're grabbing his ear.
I want him to know I did it. If you catch my.
Do you want it to hurt?
Yes, I don't want it to feel pleasant, but I don't want to cripple him. Huh?
Brawn check. Yeah.
Yeah, 11.
Because it would change based on what 11. Yeah. On an 11, unhand me, you fiend! Let go of my ear.
Quite the grip that woman has.
You just watch what you say.
What?
Hey, no,
what
look.
I said nothing wrong. I said it's spooky.
I mean, if he's calling us fools, I mean, that's practically a compliment. You should take it a little bit better than that, Alia.
Only a band of fools would pay to go to Bambaro when there are reports of spirits walking in the night.
Oh, shit. Are we paying for this? I lean down to the nearest person.
Well, I assume that all of you paid for this. I just used to ride.
I thought Travis paid for it.
Inquisitors, give me a history check.
Oh, no. If he
Again
didn't pay
with the
for it,
11.
we're screwed.
I know who paid for it.
2.
I just
Massimo,
turned
you
to
have
Dickerson
no
and
idea.
shrug.
What was the official answer? Sorry.
Massimo, you have no idea
Yeah.
who paid for
That
this.
tracks.
Aaliyah, what'd you roll?
11 again.
You vaguely remember hearing that the Inquisitorius has paid for this,
Yeah, you had said that basically. I think.
but you're not reassured on that.
Okay, fair enough. Who cares? We're getting
More
paid.
like you heard it in passing.
Fair enough. We're getting paid. Who cares?
Well, I don't want to make sure. I mean, if we don't pay this guy, he might murder us and dump our bodies out in the woods.
Look, Cricket, I got a
Or
checking and a
we'll
savings.
murder him and dump him in the woods. We have a digger to take care of him.
Hey, that ain't my
Murder
job.
who? Who are you
Oh.
murdering? Hopefully, who's him? You said him.
Yes,
Oh,
the ghost
the ghost,
that we're going
obviously.
to go kill is
Yeah.
a him
Right on the money.
The ghost is him.
for sure. I mean, there's hims, there's hers, but there's one in particular that we
He
know.
might even be a himbo.
I've never seen a himbo ghost.
Well, first time for everything.
Gasp.
Very
Those
strong.
exist.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you'd be surprised by what exists. Futanari ghosts, Himbo ghosts, Wink ghosts. There's all kinds of ghosts. They never come back with their clothes on.
That's 2. You've gotten 2 already.
Mr. Dickerson.
Gasp.
You have a very
Digger never
interesting line of work,
changes.
don't you?
Oh, it's awful. I'd get out of it if my name wasn't, sort of attached.
I mean, I don't think there's any reason you have to keep being a digger.
Once you're born a digger, you're always a
Damn
digger.
it, I knew it was coming.
Once you go digger, you don't go back.
I mean, I wouldn't be so fatalistic, but okay.
I mean, his education leaves
Excuse
something
me.
to desire. That's for sure. Making up words over here.
It is at this point that Cricket looks concerned because he's you guys are having these conversation, but also right on top of next to him, so he hears everything. What are you talking
Oh,
about?
with those ears, I'm sure he does.
Yes, I have very sensitive ears. I have very sensitive hearing. It is on account of all of the drug use I have committed to.
Can I ask you a question real quick? Because I'm very curious at this point.
Yes.
What sort of drugs would you take that would do that to your ears?
Crack.
Oh, you probably, if you're asking that question, you probably couldn't handle it.
Is it crack?
Oh, no, I
Grass,
don't want any.
pills,
I'm just curious what would do such a
meth?
thing.
A little bit of.
Going.
Give me a nature check.
I think
Aaliyah?
it's skooma.
A nature check? God, yeah. 6.
On a 6, you as an inquisitor, you are trained in toxins and poisons and nightshades and stuff. You would know, wait a second, that seems strange.
Yes, I
But
don't
you
believe
can't
anything.
You can't quite put anything to it on this plane.
I guess
all
Massimo
your
fell
studies,
asleep
you're
in
like, that
class
makes no
'cause I
sense.
put a negative in
You
nature.
are a true freak of nature.
I'm sure he's just. Well, this
Yes,
is
quite.
a very unique city we're going to. I'm sure that there's very distinct plants and the like in here.
Town. It's a farm town specifically. It's not a city.
I mean,
That's right. And I'm not from there. I'm not from the farm town. I just bring willing people over in that general direction.
Oh, so
I
where do you
also
actually
bring
live?
people to Elorian. I chauffeur people to the city of Elorian as well.
I see. Well, it seems like it pays well enough if you can afford your habits.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna go sit on this side of the cart now.
I think I'm going to join you.
Scooch us over.
Moves one seat down.
So I'll throw it to you this way. You still got a ways to go, and what are you going to do in your downtime as you're traveling?
Oh, I'm going to talk to Digger. He's very curious. Not Digger, Cricket.
Oh, you're gonna talk. Oh, okay, Cricket. Okay, Massimo, what are you doing in your downtime?
That's a good question. If I have a mirror, I'll make sure that my hair looks good. And we're moving, so it's
definitely-
probably jostling.
You definitely
know.
have one of like the pop-out mirrors, the little tiny one.
I was gonna say Massimo seems like the kind of guy who wears sunglasses at night and then look at his reflection in his own sunglasses.
What if he had a mirror that popped out one and then two for the side so you can get it?
Yeah, his mirror is really fancy,
Mhm.
so it's definitely like a multifaceted contraption.
That's quite the.
He has a
mirror you
Swiss
have.
Army mirror.
That's quite the mirror you have, Massimo. I can see why you took this job.
I asked Cricket if he's going to use his earnings from this to either buy drugs or see a dentist, which is more likely to happen.
I don't need to spend money to buy drugs.
Well, you do to see a dentist.
Well, no, I need to pay for my food. I need money for food.
Can't eat food without teeth.
Are his teeth real at all, actually, or is he just wearing dentures? It's like I don't really care about my
No,
teeth.
it's
Aaliyah-
paper. That's why it's
Oh,
moving around
Jesus.
so much.
Aaliyah, I need you to roll an a vigilance check.
What is it with the? I'm not using this die anymore. 11.
On an 11, a very faint smell of cotton candy floats through the air.
Jeez.
It's a Hansel and Gretel situation.
He's just rotten.
You wish. I need to know what Thomas Diggerson is doing in your downtime as you're commuting.
Well, like all good diggers, I sit at the back of the carriage and I look out. I'm just going to.
Yes, what year is it in this world? Did diggers have rights like the rest of us?
Listen,
I mean, they're always going to put a dirty digger in the back of the cart. I'm just saying.
Listen, Thomas Dickerson's ancestor Digger Parks did not stand for this, okay?
Thomas Dickerson is just at the back of the carriage for real and looking out just to make sure that nothing sneaks upon us. He's got his lantern up and he's just kind of keeping an eye out.
Thomas, I need you to roll a vigilance check as well.
All right. That's what I was made for. And that's one.
Oh, you.
You're too busy looking at Massimo's nice mirror.
Thomas, you hold the lantern out and you think that you're doing your job well, but you're blinded by that light. You can't see shit beyond.
Don't worry,
So
guys.
if you're getting
I'll keep
attacked-
us safe.
Oh, that's nice. Can you hold it up a little bit more over here? Oh,
Yep, I got you.
there we go. Yeah.
Nothing gets past the old Dickerson.
I'm just imagining Dickerson over here exactly like Dompe in Ocarina of Time during the races. Through the tunnels.
And Arya. What is Arya doing?
Arya's not the most comfortable in social situations, so she's probably sitting a little in the back, just kind of observing everyone, being like, "Is this how people are supposed to behave in civilization? I have no idea, but I'm hoping I can learn."
Give
In
me a
that
history
case-
check.
History, okay. Why do I get the feeling that this is not going to go well? That's a 6.
I'm putting this nat one in
You have
Discord.
no idea if this is how people normally act. You have not a clue.
So, Aria, Is there
yes,
a-
Mr. Delgado.
is there a Mr. Knightsmith?
I mean, my father was Mr. Knightsmith.
Okay, good to know.
If that's what you mean.
How you doing?
I mean, a little nervous. I've never done anything like this before.
You doing anything after we kill these ghosts?
I mean, I might have to help ferry some spirits to the other side. That's my job.
Cool. All right. Well, things get a little hairy out there. You can just stay right behind me.
How like, what's Massimo's like build? Is he like a kind of a lanky guy?
Well, his last name's Delgado, so
Is he fairly lanky? Like if I were to stand behind him, like it's like
no, he's probably 6 feet, maybe just over 6 feet with his high-heeled boots. And yeah, he his clothes
Got a
aren't like
close up.
his clothes are pretty tailored. So I mean, he's an athletic guy. He knows how to use weapons, and he's been trained. So
Well, I will keep that in mind. Thank you.
sure thing. So Nightsmith, is that like you guys only smith at night or something?
Surprisingly, no.
Oh, I mean, Diggerson over here is a digger. I just figured I'd ask, your name. Maybe it had something to do with.
Well, what does Delgado mean?
Well, Delgado means brave, selfless, strong. It means quite a few things in ye old Elvish.
Well,
Is Arya buying that?
I'm gonna roll a vigilance on that.
Well, on a 19. So hold that roll. Massimo, are you telling the truth or are you making this up?
No, it's all a lie.
It's all a lie. So then I need you to roll a
Deception.
deceive check.
Yeah.
I got that
Or
plus
I-
one in
so-
Steve, baby.
Yeah, that's it. That would be a deception.
I also had a +1 in vigilance.
7.
Is that with the modifier?
That's a +1, man.
So Arya, I would have had you rolled an empathize check to connect with that, and on a what'd you get, a 19? That's
Yeah.
you could see he's kind of making things up, but whether he's I don't know if he's as the GM, I don't know if he's compensating for something or if he's just trying to tell you what you want to hear.
I've spent a lot of time reading. I feel like I would have heard that by now, but sure, we'll take your word for it for now. She does not buy it.
It's a rare name.
And we jump to up at the front, Aaliyah. Aaliyah, you're sitting next Aaliyah and Arya. You got two names, two A names. Jeez.
Hey, my character came up first.
I'm going to mess that up probably before the stream ends. Aaliyah, you're up at the front sitting next to Trinket, and I'd like to know what you're doing, and are you looking out into the woods ahead of you?
I'm trying to interest him in a dental plan, and I'm still trying to press what drug he's taking. And yes, I'm also keeping an eye on things.
I didn't know the Inquisitorius offered dental.
So he's just going to kind of carry on, moving through, keeping the horses going, and he'll lean over every kind of looking at you. You could tell he's a little unsettled that you're getting so close to him, and eventually he's just going to say, "The last group of people that I brought to Bambaro were not so close. Why are you so close?"
Close? I'm not sitting close to you. I'm just talking to you. I'm curious about your,
And he's going to kind of he's going to
I don't
lean
get out
away
much.
from you. Yes.
You know, As I said, I don't get out much, but I would think that probably most people probably move away from you most of the time. You would think you'd be happy for some company.
Why would people move away from me? Really? Do they?
Because you look like a goblin, and you're not.
To be fair, I'm the only one who knows he's actually human.
Oh,
That's
fair enough. But you look like a goblin. That's why. Period.
And what if I was? Is there a problem?
Well, yes, I usually go out to kill goblins. So you should be happy I'm talking to you and not cutting you. I'm very threatening.
It's
I have to say it because...
I need you to give me a magnetism check.
Oh, God.
To see if you're connecting with them.
13.
On a 13, he's gonna kind of hesitate for a second, and he's gonna take your words seriously. And he's gonna think, it's been such a long time since I've had any
Oh, God, no.
friends. So lonely out here.
Let's not get carried away now.
I've not had these feelings before. It's been such a long time. Oh, I'm coming down. Oh no, I'm coming down. Oh, I'm coming down.
Oh man, Massimo's gonna have some competition.
What the hell's he got that I don't have?
Normally, I wouldn't say this, especially while you're driving, but maybe you want to take a little bit more of whatever it is that you take to, even out, because
Can
that's
you keep
not
a
the
promise? And
conversation
he gets like
we're having here.
he kind of gets up and like lunges at you, but not to attack you, but like it gets in your face. Can you keep a promise?
Oh, of
Give me
course.
secret, rather. No, I meant secret.
Sure, promise, secret.
Promise the secret.
Secret promise.
He's gonna reach into his jacket and he's gonna pull out what looks like a little tuft of cotton candy, and he's gonna go pop it in his mouth.
Sugar.
No.
I was gonna say that explains it.
That's not a secret then. I mean, it is, but you still haven't told me.
Have you heard of a bramble?
Like a bush?
They're little creatures that fall from the sky. Eat them.
No.
Oh my gosh. The most wonderful experience you can imagine.
So we've got the equivalent of one of those peoples that like licks the rainforest frogs. Got it.
Would you like to try it? And at that point, I need you to give me a vigilance check, please.
I kind of want to try it. I wish he was
15.
asking me.
I don't want to try it, but I bet you Diggerson would try it. He has that look about him.
So, Aaliyah, I need you to do two things. So, firstly, give me a vigilance check. Second thing is give me a history check.
15 on the vigilance,
Great.
12 on the history.
So the history is to see if you recognize what the term bramble is. And on a
Okay.
12, you've heard not like legends of it. You not even have any inquisitors interacted with this. It's more like a note that was kind of put in passing of a creature that was only ever really told in stories. This sounds like malarkey. This guy sounds like he's full of crap because brambles there's no recorded evidence of ever interacting with a bramble. But they are said to be small creatures that fall from the sky and they grant wishes.
They grant wishes.
When they're alive.
Oh, well. Never mind.
Someone wished for drugs, so now
Yeah, I stick with my previous statement then.
Also, and with the vigilance check. So as the carriage is still moving along, but you see off in the distance the flickering lights of the town. So you are approaching the town now.
All right, I look at everyone else and said, we're almost there. It's right up ahead.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, yes, I see the lights in the distance. They
No,
are
I-
bright.
I believe we've at least got a couple hours. I can't see nothing.
Oh no, Thomas, it's this way.
Oh,
It's
Arizo's
Oh.
gonna like lower his lantern and be like, "It's hard to see other light when you have light right in your face, Thomas."
oh, would you look at that? We're almost there.
Yes.
Luckily, I was keeping an eye out.
Of course, yes. You were very vigilant back then.
Yes. Yes. Very bright, colorful. Yeah. So what are you guys going to do as you're approaching? You are approaching the town now. Are you guys looking around the area? Are you looking in the woods? Are you arming your gear? Describe what it is you're doing.
Definitely
Starting with the-
Sharpening the blades, yeah.
Okay.
I take my trusty
Putting that
shovel
holy
off of
water
my
on
back.
Okay.
I put it on my shoulder. I lower
Arya.
my lantern.
Yeah, Arya's probably taking out her staff and just kind of balancing it, making sure everything's fine, puts it back on her back.
Now, Dickerson, you
Okay.
brought a real weapon, right?
Yes, my shovel.
Oh, okay. Well, we're in for it.
You're damn right.
To be fair, Massimo, have you ever been hit by a shovel?
I have not. I imagine
Nope,
it's quite
you haven't.
painful, but he's a halfling, so
Hey, watch it. I might reach up there and punch you in the knee.
he's got jokes. I like you. Here, you can sit in the front.
No, that's fine. He's good. He's keeping a lookout in the back.
You're damn right I am. Yeah, I'm gonna peer out in the woods once again. This time with the shovel a bit lower, or the lantern lower.
Why are we slowing down? Oh, Thomas, you put down your shovel to break.
And I think Massimo would be doing whatever like spiritual rites, like 40K, blessing the weapons sort of thing as we're approaching.
So, Diggerson, I just sent you the stats for that. Consider that your shovel stats, so you could check that in the private on the Discord. And Massimo, could you describe what those rights are?
Yeah, he pulls out some oil and he just kind of closes his eyes. Or you know what? Maybe he looks up at the moon. He says, "In the holy name of the ancient gods, may you protect us in our righteous mission to defeat these undead creatures of unholiness. May you bless our weapons so that they can strike true and keep us safe in these trying times."
Excuse me, Massimo, that's olive oil. You want the other bottle, I think.
No, this is olive oil, but it is blessed olive oil, sir.
Is it extra virgin?
Well, see, the other Inquisitors, they like to use their own thing. And I'm just like, you know what? Canola oil, it's just not, it doesn't do the trick when you bless it. So you got to get the good stuff like olive oil, avocado oil, the more expensive oils. Because then the gods are like, okay, this guy knows what he's doing. This guy's devoted,
I see.
At least he's not using baby oil.
I think what he's saying is he likes to use things with a high burn temperature, so because he likes to burn things down.
I don't know anything about that.
Or he likes to make
as
a
you
nice
guys-
sauce.
But things
you
do
guys
get
are-
pretty hot around me. And he looks over at Arya.
Hi.
I just imagine Massimo is the equivalent of Lou from Hot Tub Time Machine, which is a deep cut, but that's all I'm seeing. I don't expect anyone to get that reference. But
He's the bald one that
guy.
wanted
Yeah, I
to
can see
bald
that.
That's perfect.
The bald guy wanted to kill himself. For
I'm
carbon
sorry, that's
monoxide.
all I think of.
And he found it
That's
legal?
strange.
I
Yeah,
pull Arya
yeah,
to the side, and I'm like, I'm really sorry about that. That's why I've been talking to Cricket, because I figured if I talked to him and showed him interest, Massimo would leave me alone because I've heard about him. But I didn't mean to leave you out in the lurch. Just, be careful.
I mean, seems friendly enough.
Yes, he's very friendly.
I go up to Massimo. I think you really got a chance. You seem like you're really working it in there.
Yeah, he's got it in his hand looking, and then he does this to Arya as he's like polishing it in.
She does not notice at all because Aaliyah's talking to her.
Thomas,
But
gives him a thumbs
Massimo
up.
wants to think it. It's like, oh wait,
At
she
this
doesn't have a
point-
mirror like me. She can't see.
I go back to talking to Cricket.
Now you should
at
see
this
me when
point,
I have
you
my
guys.
crossbow. I get to polish each bolt individually. But I just brought my sword this time.
The crossbow bolts seem like they're less than average size.
And as the cart is being pulled in, getting closer and closer to town, you see that the kind of what should be a bit of a barrier, a bit of a wall, is very much destroyed. There's lots of holes in it. The actual gate itself is tattered and destroyed. The door is basically hanging off of one of them there. And you very,
is that
very
normal?
much hear
I don't think that's normal.
come from inside the town. There is some screeching going on out there, though you don't know what is causing it. And now I turn it over to you guys. What do you do?
I
Well,
think it's time to go to work.
I don't think we need to do anything. That's clearly a holy wall.
Okay, you can just go back to the town we came from.
Back
take
to
care
the
of
back
it.
of the cart.
Go back the way I came.
Oh, we lost Chrysanthe, everyone. Chrysanthe.
To be fair, that's not difficult to do.
We made it 53 minutes and somebody mark it. Chat, mark it. 53 minutes.
Flip that.
Yeah, let's put our big boy pants on. Things are gonna get real sticky out there.
All right, just
Chris,
stay
if you
behind me.
leave, you can't give Dickerson, ideas on how to kick people in the shins right.
I learned it from watching
So-
you, Mom.
You guys, what I would like to do now is everybody is going to roll a vigilance check. We're going into this. We're just going to pre-roll for combat phase as we're entering the first combat phase. So vigilance checks all around, and then I will transition and bring the map up. So starting with
You're going to transition? Well, I mean, I'm not going to judge, but
Hey yo,
Don't even joke about that, Aria. You are beautiful as is.
Damn, look at you.
Jesus Christ.
for vigilance.
20 for
He
Arya.
hacked it.
Aaliyah, what'd you get?
I got a whole 10.
10.
Hey, I got 2 of those.
Massimo,
One of these
9.
in your damn 20s.
And Thomas Dickerson got a 17.
17.
Now you roll good.
Well, things are looking up for the Dickersons. They used to be all the way in the back. Now they're not quite at the front, but they've made progress.
And so, my friends, you guys will all disembark from the carriage. And as you guys are approaching the town lines, you'll see beyond the fence that there is actually specters floating through the town. And it looks like they're moving very slowly. These specters of a sort. And what they're doing is you're watching as they're floating up to doors. Bang, bang, bang. They're banging on the doors. And there's the doors aren't opening, but there's very much likely people inside because you could see the lights inside, and then the ghost will just float away. And another ghost will approach and start knocking on the same door, but it's for all of the houses. It's not just one. They are basically terrorizing the town. And so
I
you
thought
see
ghosts could go through walls. How strange.
No, they got to be invited in first. Don't you do any
Everyone
reading?
knows.
Vampires.
Everyone knows that.
I thought that was vampires. Are they
No, it's
vampire
anything.
ghosts?
It's anything from the devil.
Are they vampire ghosts? Maybe.
My family built
And
these
so-
houses. We need to save them. My cousins were house diggers.
Oh, this is this is where the fun begins. I'm ready
I
to
was
kill
wondering
some
where you
things.
were going with that. Oh, I wish I didn't know.
at the top right now.
Oh my gosh,
Arya,
these
it
ghosts
is
are
your
so
turn.
cool.
Oh no, it's the
Yeah,
Blue Man
close
Group.
up.
It's the Blue Man
up,
Ghosts.
Listen,
No.
it was a shoot on.
Hey, now I can get my sunglasses.
When I saw this, I was like, I have to. This is the ghosts. I'll show you what they actually look like, but for the tokens, that's what the tokens are.
That's fair.
Arya, it is your turn. Right, Arya, yes. I'd like to know what it is you're doing.
Alrighty, I can move 5.
Oh, they're not happy.
This is what they actually look like.
That's a little more intimidating.
Yes, but the tokens are cool. They like smooth jazz.
Kenny G.
All right, Arya.
Yep. 1, 2, 3.
So I'll introduce. Combat is built into only a handful of things in order to make it fast. So you have 4 actions. Those are basically your attacks. You have one of those you can choose to do. Then you have a movement. Now you have your movement speed. I believe it's 5 squares for you.
Yes.
So that means you can move 5 squares in any direction unless something is obstructing your path, which obviously the red block there is supposed to be a house, so you can't get through that. But you do have line of sight. You can see that there are 2 ghosts there. Okay. Now,
right.
let's say you wanted to interact with something. Let's say you were going to go and knock on the door yourself. Built into the system, you can sacrifice movement speed for interaction. So you
Okay.
could use half of your movement speed rounding up to interact with the world at any time. So it could be like pulling a lever, or it could be like, grabbing something, or attempting to get something, or whatever the case may be. It's up to your discretion. Interactions cost your movement space.
Gotcha.
Something else, just to brief everybody again, you'll see that each of you has a boost ability. The catch with the boost ability is you could deploy it at any time, but once one of you uses it, no one else can use their boost ability until the end of the combat phase. And we are currently in a combat phase. So y'all get 1 boost at any time. Could be the opponent's turn, could be your turn, could be an ally's turn. You could activate your boost. So those are the 3 things you could do now.
All right.
What would you like to do?
Arya's gonna move up one
Boost
space
is
up.
the legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah, legacy ability.
I'm gonna move 1 space up, then 1 space right.
I can put 1d6 arcane damage on all your weapons if you're close to me.
Okay.
That's my.
Uh,
But it only lasts for 3 rounds.
she wants to use her movement to move to F7. I think. And then
Okay.
the cool ghost at E3, she is going to cast Spirit, or she's going to cast Send to deal 1d6 damage to a target, and if it's undead, it's 2d6.
Ooh, okay. All right, so roll, and then so go ahead and roll for damage.
All right. Oh, I gotta set it to 2d6. All right. 7 damage total for 2d6.
All right, 7 damage. Now, send is very important. That is really tied to your faithful class. So what I'd like for you to do is, as you're walking down the town and you see that there are these 2 ghosts that are popping up, I need you to describe what it is that you're doing as you cast this ability.
She probably gets down on her knees and almost looks like she's making a prayer, but she's trying to communicate with the ghost almost telepathically, like this spirit, and say it's like, you don't have to be angry. You can move on to the other side. And she's essentially trying to break down its will to get it to give up on this heinous activity.
Hopefully that won't be the only time she's on her knees tonight. Am I right, Diggerson?
Oh, that was actually a good one. High five.
I high 5.
Does he have to make an athletics roll to see if he can reach it?
Jump up.
I'll give him that look too as I look down on him.
Arya, you go to your knees and you cast this spell, and for a moment you feel that this specter just kind of turns and looks at you. And I need you to give me a mysticism check.
All right, mysticism.
Oh my god!
It's because Sevvy's not here, so someone has to get the good rolls.
That's a good roll.
That's
a good roll.
She's the programmer for that app.
So, Arya, you fall to your knees and you cast send to try to send it back to the afterlife. And as the creature just turns and looks at you, you connect with it on a spiritual level, and you sense very quickly that, firstly, that this being is not in control of itself. It is not. It is like a puppet attached to strings. It has no control over what it's doing. It can't even speak to you. It can't interact with you. It is just seeing you, and as it sees you, you could tell there is no soul carrying this soul, and you see that it has claws, and they're pointed at you.
Does it look like I heard its will?
Because it doesn't have a will to communicate with, which you would now know.
Okay.
At which point, is there anything else on your turn?
I
think that's you've used your action, you used your movement.
I would have to decide if I wanted to use my boost, but I think I will hold off that for now.
Very good. All right, number 2, Thomas Diggerson. It is your turn. What would you do?
All right, Thomas Diggerson's going to run up right next to his friend Aria.
G7?
Yep. And then
okay.
He's going to pull out one of his, out of his coat, almost GTA-esque, pull out this giant book, and then pull up his lantern and start going through it. Yep, I think I figured out which one it is. I think it is a specter. And I'm going to use my ability, Last Rights. I'm going to identify this, the guy, the first ghost.
Okay.
So identify an undead target you can see within 5 squares. If that target is defeated before the caster's next turn, all of the caster's allies within 5 squares gain an additional action upon the beginning of the... And then it cuts off.
Surprise! I promise we're working on those. I think it's the combat phase, or it's the next rotation for the next rotation.
They gain an additional action upon the beginning of the caster's next turn.
Last right beginning of the next turn. Okay, yep, I got your character sheet up now. So with that, you cast it. That is your action. You've done your movement. Anything else on your turn?
Nope, that's all I can do.
Ooh, sorry, Massimo. Looks like Diggerson found the G spot next to me. I think you're going to have to find your own.
Well, I just see the two of you go over there and prostrate yourselves amongst the enemy, and I'm just look over to Aaliyah like, what the hell are they doing?
I don't know.
Oh no, the house
At which point it is the Spectre's turn, and it's going to fly over to you. And the other one, because it has the turn right after, is going to fly over and attack Diggerson. But the first one is going to swing on Aria. Let's see what it does. It protrudes its claws. Phantom Claw, and it swings down on you. This is the first one.
Okay.
And it rolls with a 1d4, and it rolls a 3. So here's how combat works, just for everybody watching and for you guys. All attacks land. The players have a choice on whether they'd like to negate that damage with their armor dice or sustain it. So you've just taken, boom, 3 damage, and you have an AR rating of, I think it's 1? Which means you have 1d6 that you can choose to use during this rotation. Do you choose to use it?
Yes, and I rolled a 4.
So you take no damage. So what happens is, Ari, you feel as the claw just kind of goes through you. And what would be, it wouldn't even be physical damage. You could tell that this would be tearing through your soul. It would be it's something that really, truly hurts. That may even linger forever. You may not be able to shake this, but you're able to rebuff that attack, and it just phases through you.
She probably kind of talks to the spirit. I'm like, I know this is not your will. I will help you find peace.
Is the response.
Understandable. I'm not.
And the other one. The other one is going to go, and it's going to attack Diggerson. And what is going to happen, it doesn't show its claws. Instead, waves like tendrils stretch from its body and try to wrap around Thomas Diggerson as it attempts to latch onto you, and it rolls a 1d4 damage, and it also rolls for 3 damage, but this, because it is trying to drain your soul.
This is not a good look. I mean, we've got enemies in white robes.
White sheets.
Exactly.
The digger.
I was about to say,
Damn
it's
it.
a good thing their hats are not pointy.
Okay. All right, well, we're going to be like that about it, huh? Fine, I'll take away the cool ghost and then it'll be canceled while I'm stewarding this channel.
So I can roll my armor, right?
You can choose to rebuff the attack, yes.
Okay. So when do we get these dice back? Is the question.
At the top of your next turn.
Oh,
So how did the channel get taken down? The white sheets
Okay.
went
I
after
rolled
the
a 2.
digger.
The cool white sheets. They are cool.
You know, you might not want to say that.
Well,
I'm just saying.
how are you going to argue with that class?
It's fantastic.
I rolled both of my d6s and I got exactly 3.
Okay, so you've used up your armors. Very good.
So we can use
All right,
up
and we-
to the number that our armor rating is. Like if I
could
wanted
use
to
all
use
of them,
3, I
you
could
could-
use 3d6 for 1 attack.
Absolutely.
If you want, or you
Okay.
can split it between multiple attacks, whatever you want.
Yeah. It's the idea that, like, if there's a loaded battlefield, you could choose to say, oh, man, I got hit by this little guy, but that big guy is coming for me next. I'm going to save my dice to hold that off. Okay, so, and we are... Aaliyah, it is your turn.
Now you say I get how many actions exactly? Just to be sure.
A
I
single
can
action.
attack a single action. So I can't cast a spell and attack.
Well, that is your attack. The spell and the attack would be it's anything that says action slot, you use one
Okay.
of those.
I got you. Huh. All righty. Oh, boy. All right. I'm just going to attack it. I'm going to run up.
Focus on the one in front of Arya.
Oh, you move me?
Yeah, I move you. Or
Oh, yeah,
which one are you
straight,
going
no,
for?
straight up. Yeah, straight up.
So
And I'm gonna-
7.
Yeah. And I'm going to use my kukri to stab him. And because I assume they are undead, I get +2 damage to them.
That's
my
right.
silver
They are
blades.
undead.
Okay. Kitty, move. And I got a 5, so 7 damage.
Okay. Real quick, Diggerson, which one did you mark? The first one or the second one?
First one.
The first one. All right, so that's the one. Okay, marked. Got it. All right, and with that, it is Massimo's turn.
So it didn't.
What would you like to do?
Did I hurt it, or does it look
Oh,
like
you
I
heard?
it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You describe your attack on the creature. It's not dead, but describe your attack on.
Okay, I sweep in with both blades and I just crisscross through its sunglasses area, trying to cut off its head, even though it doesn't really have a head.
So as you come down and you swing through it, and you swing right through the sunglasses, the actual body of the creature just kind of flops over, and it's still floating there. Like the creature is still very much, well, alive isn't the right term, active.
Okay.
It's still very much active, but it's where the damage that you have imparted to it is just it's just hanging now, which is kind of grotesque.
Cool. She likes that.
Massimo.
I will move right behind Diggerson to make sure that
Right
they are in
behind.
range.
He also found a G spot.
And I will press one gloved hand over the blade as it lights up, and I'll just point it like in the sky, and I will do purge the unclean on them.
Ooh.
And hope I roll
Okay.
well. 1 damage.
Clearly, he can't find the
So
spot.
3 squares is circle, right? Circle around you, 3 squares.
No, it's 3. It would say
Or it's
radius.
Enemies
Oh.
within 3
Yeah.
squares.
Oh, so it's a
So
cone.
one.
Okay.
No, it's just any
no,
enemy
it's just
within 3.
Any 3 squares.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's, okay.
So if you can move there in 3, that's 3 away. All right, so you cast boom, and a single point of damage hits the creature. Could you describe what the beam of light looks like?
Impotent.
The sword blade kind of flops a little bit. No, just kidding. Yeah, he raises it up in the sky, and it's like a moonbeam, I would say, on the 2 of these. The moon is out tonight, so maybe he's praying to whatever god or goddess is associated with the moon here.
Well, that's gonna hit. That's boom. A singular skinny blast of light would fall down then and hit both of them because they're both within range.
Exactly.
Wait, that's you used all right. Yeah, purge the unclean to all enemies within range, and you have momentum on your next turn.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, can I use
Both hit.
momentum for damage rolls? On my
You
next
use
turn?
momentum on whatever roll you choose.
Perfect.
Well, yeah,
Love
it's only
Well, because there's
Okay.
that's
And
what I
with
was saying.
that-
Like, can I do skills in combat? But yeah, cool.
It would be typically it's an interaction if you were to do a skill.
Right. But we were talking about momentum earlier, and we were using it for the skills, so that's why I was asking.
Momentum counts for virtually anything. Whatever's going to propel your character's actions forward, that's what it would be used for. Okay, and with that, we are at the top of round 2, which puts us back to Arya. Arya, it's your turn.
All right.
Now, to sum up everything that has happened really quickly, you've entered into the town. You have spotted these specters. You have connected with them. You know that these things are not here of their own will, nor can you connect with them like you would a normal spirit to help pass on. So that can't really be done here. What would you like to do?
Does that mean mechanically my spell has no effect, or?
No, it just means RP wise, you can't
All right.
help them pass on.
Gotcha. Is there a minimum range for spells, or as long as it's anywhere within the range, you can use it?
If it says 2 squares, then it's as long as you're within 2 squares of the target.
Okay, because 5 squares, I could, even though it's in my face, I could use it.
That's right.
Okay, she's gonna send again, and she's not gonna bother like completely going down in prostration this time, but she's just gonna kind of pray and bow her head and be like, if you can't be saved, then I'm gonna send you off. And that will be 2d6 because it's undead.
She's gonna what them off?
8, a 6, and a 2.
On an 8, you could you describe are you saying like a little prayer as you're doing this?
Yes, it's
Okay.
barely. It's probably maybe it's audible to Diggerson because he's like literally right next to her, and she's like, "May you find comforts in the next life."
What did you say about my ex-wife?
And as Diggerson says that, you watch as from this specter a beam of light explodes out of the creature's chest, which then envelops the entire body as it burns away, and all that's left is dust. And you see on the ground underneath, because we just hit 39 likes,
Nice.
that there is something wrapped up sitting there where the creature once was.
She will use half her movement to pick up whatever that is.
It's a bramble.
Ooh, that was a nifty trick.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I hope it's not a bramble. I'm not prepared for that.
Quick, eat it. See what it does.
Arya, you pick up and what seems to be in this like kind of parchment this pouch. I know what it looks like. What's the word for it?
Goofer dust.
Yeah, it's like some kind of a pouch, and as you open it, you take out. There's a scroll in there. Now, you recognize these scrolls. In fact, all of you would recognize these scrolls, is that these are new spells that you can learn and switch into your action slots, which means you can switch out something that you have and put something else in instead when we're out of combat. And so you found the spell for Fireball, which is not the same as this is a normal Fireball.
Sure, but it still sounds nice.
And
it is nice.
And because that guy was
so,
killed before my next turn, my ally should get an extra action, I believe.
Isn't it everybody within range gets the action?
It's all of the caster's allies within 5 squares.
So everybody gets an additional action.
Oh, okay. Nice. Including me, even though I just went?
On your next turn.
On my next turn, got it.
On your next turn, you have the additional action. Okay, so with that, boom.
I get the feeling there may not be a next turn, but let's see.
Well, let's find out. Diggerson, it's your turn, and there is one specter
Well,
left.
you know what? Actually, hold on.
Can you dig it?
Got something else for us?
Can something have more than one thing? Use of momentum per turn?
You can stack it, but only 3 times.
All right, she's going to use her legacy ability to apply momentum on my next attack roll. But what I'm going to do is use my second action, and I'm going to cast Spirit's Guidance on Diggerson, which grants him momentum for his next rotation, which is coming up. So he has 2 momentum to use.
And with that, the boost ability has been deployed, which means no more boost.
Well,
Diggerson, it is your turn.
I pull out the field digger, my shovel, and I stick it into the ground and pull it back, launch myself in the air, start spinning like Yoda, and I'm going to take a swing.
Just out of curiosity, do you have a porch digger?
That's my next weapon.
Ask.
I use all my momentum to get a 4.
Okay. So here's what's going to happen. Thomas Diggerson, you are going to do everything that you described. You're going to fly through the air like Yoda, and you're going to hear a very, very loud and powerful as you pierce through that specter, and it explodes, enveloping in light, just like the other one did, except there was nothing left behind this time. Chat can change that. But yes, you've successfully destroyed this specter, and you pick yourself back up.
Sorry, no gifts for diggers.
I twirl my shovel and stick it back.
That was most impressive, Thomas.
Thank you. I'm quite the digger.
Clearly.
With that, my friends, combat phase has effectively ended.
I really wish to drop the spell so I could have been like, Digger, please, can I have that?
The jokes, they're never gonna stop. Chat.
Laylines did this to us. He knew exactly what he was doing.
It was a gift. Let's be clear. This is a gift. Okay. All right. And so, you guys have in front of you the town ahead. There are people in the buildings. As you look behind you, you notice that the cart is very much gone. Not that he like anything suspicious or anything. He didn't really stop. He kind of just rolled by as you guys all got off the cricket's cart, and he just kept rolling along through that combat. As you look out through the town, I need for you guys, firstly, what are you doing? And then I'll call for rolls after that, starting with Massimo.
I am first of all going over to the whatever ectoplasm remains and making sure I'm getting a last hit in, and just kind of slamming the sword into it.
Yeah.
Don't worry, guys, I got this. And then I'll go.
I think it's already gone, but
no, it's okay. I got it. All right. And then I'll go maybe to the nearest house to get some information.
Okay. That's good. Give me an investigation check as you're leaning down and hitting the creatures, the deceased creature. With the Leah on deck.
I'm on deck.
Let's see. Would this be considered my next rotation or not? Because we're out of combat. Like, would I get
We're out of
momentum on it?
combat,
Okay.
so you wouldn't have that. Yeah,
16.
on a 16. So Massimo, as you, and I'll pull this back up just so I could demonstrate. As you lean down to hit that creature, you notice that there are these marks on the ground that look and resemble like a spectral green goo, like an ectoplasm. And you realize that these things have been like kind of carrying this ectoplasm as a trail. So you realize you can follow them.
All right. Hey, you guys see this right here? He moves some of it around with his sword.
Yes, it looks like it came from those specters.
Yeah, I bet we follow that path and we'll find even more of them to dispatch.
Yes, perhaps, but maybe we should check on the citizens here if there are any left.
I'm doing that. Don't you worry your pretty little head. I got it covered.
Aaliyah?
I'm scanning the area for more enemies, or to see where where they're coming from, or anything of the sort out of the ordinary.
Give me an investigation check.
I got a whopping 3.
You definitely don't see any more of them, though you do hear almost an unsettling rustling in the buildings.
Okay.
But you can't really tell which one. The
Okay.
lights are flickering, like shadows are in the buildings. Like there's definitely people in there. There's definitely something in there.
I don't think we're done here yet. There's still some weirdness here. I feel it.
Thomas.
I'm gonna go knock on the door, see if everyone's all right.
Okay.
Anyone in there?
Who's out there?
Thomas Dickerson. I've come toward your
Thomas.
grave.
Thomas what?
Dickerson.
Diggerson? With a D?
Yes, with a D. A big one at that.
I just...
Does he have to roll for endowment now?
All right.
You need
There's
to
no
get
I got
inside.
no chance with Ari. I might as well give
It's
up.
not safe out there, Diggerson.
What's causing all the specters?
Oh, we don't know. You need to get somewhere safe. Get away from here until the
Well.
morning.
I am the one who knocked. I am the danger.
Well, so do all of the ghosts. They knock all through the night.
She must have peered out the window and saw it.
She peered out the window and didn't see me. That's why she's afraid.
He's too short.
All of you can hear this, by the way. So all of you can hear this conversation.
That's
Wh-
something.
Why are you here? Were you fighting those creatures?
Aye, that's what we do.
We're with the Inquisitory Miss, whatever it's called.
Inquisitors.
Inquisitors? You guys are inquisitors? Are you here to save us?
Hell yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful news. Things have been terrible. Oh, that's great. I'm gonna and then she opens the door and you can see inside that this is an elderly woman here, and she's like truly terrified, like unjokingly terrified, looking around the door. She's ready to like slam it shut at any second.
What the hell are you doing? We could have been anyone lying about who we were. You just opened the door.
I was about to say she sees Thomas and slams the door shut.
Wait, lady, don't close the door. That's our digger.
I'm one of the good ones.
Oh, we're getting canceled.
It's okay. There's no bananas here. Moss isn't around. The channel.
F you, Watsy.
Oh no,
let's just have that ready, huh?
Laylines, why?
Just a monkey with a banana.
And so
What happened?
she's terrified. She's looking
no,
around
no.
and trying to see if any of there are any more specters. Quickly, come inside. If they get you, they drain your soul.
Hey, Massimo, sounds like a good time.
How
Do any of
exactly
you guys
do they
go
drain
inside?
your soul?
What was that
Oh,
with
we
her?
need moss.
Arya will head inside.
Well, wait, hang on a
Okay.
sec. I mean, we got a trail here. We got to go kill the rest of these things. We just wanted to ask a couple quick questions. I mean, unless you got cookies. Did you bake cookies? I'll come inside if there's cookies.
She bakes a lot of cookies.
Okay, I'll come inside.
As you look into, there's an older
something I
gentleman,
often say.
not the same. It's not Cricket. There's an
I was
older
hoping
guy
it
in there.
was, just because it wouldn't make any sense.
Rocking back and forth in a rocking chair by the fireplace.
Does
Yeah,
he
she
have
made
pointy
cookies,
ears?
and they're good. No, he doesn't have pointy ears.
Aw.
He's just an old guy.
Yeah, sure, I'll eat your cookie.
They're delicious.
We get mana back when we eat these, right?
Now you get diabetes.
Oh, even better.
The old sugarfoot.
So you guys came out here to snuff out these specters, huh?
How do we know these cookies aren't babies?
He's Massimo's halfway bitten through one, and he looks concerned
Whatever
all of a
do you
sudden.
mean?
I've heard things.
Like what?
Like people putting babies in cookies.
Oh no, I could never do that. No, that sounds terrible. She's genuinely terrified of that idea.
All right, these are fine.
You should be okay.
They're just chocolate chip. They're good.
Oh, thank goodness.
I mean, they're okay.
I'll have 5. Just don't put the raisin in them.
So you mean to tell me you guys came out here to kill these specters? We've been trying to send word to the Inquisitorius for many, many moons, about 7 days. And you guys got out here pretty quick. That's not bad.
Yes, well, as soon as the Inquisitorius said they needed help, they asked for, those two are actual Inquisitors. The rest of us are just hired help, but we're still here to help.
Yeah, but don't
Is
think
that
we're
so?
quick with everything. Looks over at Arya.
He has
Massimo,
no idea what you mean.
They say that chocolate takes the shine out of your hair. Might want to be careful.
You know,
I've never heard that.
what's really funny is I had thought one of the gentlefolk that lives around here had a statement about this whole thing, about this whole situation, and they said, now hear me out. Right before the announcement from the higher ups pushing out for more content, less live stream content, there was something odd. Some random guy started hanging out in chat and guest appearing on shows. I know where I'm placing the blame. Squarely upon that guy. And I made my feelings known and tried to warn everybody in Cypher, but no one listened. Ugh. I didn't want to be right. Fools, you should have listened to me.
Well,
And that's
sounds
what
like
my
fun
neighbor
cat.
said about this whole thing.
What's your neighbor's name?
Okay, so he's crazy.
Oh, my neighbor's insane. Talks in ciphers and such.
Yes. Does your neighbor have a name?
I'd
for
like to
legal
say his name
reasons,
is
he's
Doris.
Massimo has a little flip book out, and he's writing something in it. I'll be honest, I didn't hear anything after situation. That's just a really funny pun. I'm going to use that later. And he's writing that down in his little notebook.
I'd say the guy is a pussy, by the way. He's very much a pussy. On account of his cat. He carries a cat with him. Like a scrotum cat.
Oh,
You all...
those are adorable.
No, it's a scrotum cat.
Okay.
Fair
I'll
enough.
just leave it there. I think I'm gonna go outside. This guy's weird.
What?
Let's go kill some more
At
things.
this point, the old woman's gonna come in with another plate of cookies. What in good heavens are you telling these people? We just met them, and you're going off on these tirades about what the neighbors are saying? Good heavens! No, here's what's the situation is truly terrible. There's a witch. It's a witch plaguing our town.
See, that we can handle. I don't know about dealing with scrotum cats.
I know too much. They talk too much. They're full of shit. You ever heard
Well,
one
actually, the
thinks it's the
shit's
smartest
not
person in the room.
scrotum. That's another.
My lawyers have
whatever.
informed me not to talk to these people anymore.
I think that's your pocketbook. Now, when did your trouble start?
Oh, just it was about almost a week now, and it happens on the brightest nights when the moon is at its brightest.
About a week
And now
ago.
it's not like a respect. Dab on the haters, know what I mean? So the situation at hand is very serious.
What is happening right now?
It must be a
Game.
cultural thing, Delgado.
It's something we diggers do.
Game respects game.
Jesus.
It's an ancient halfling language called Ebonics.
At which point, she's finally going to say there was a witch came into the town, and we didn't know it was a witch. At first, it was this young woman came in. She said she was looking for help in discovering the secrets of some magical chalice that she had, and it was very odd. We don't. There is no magical presence here. We are just simple farmers. And when we all refused, she took anger with us. And then she disappeared. And ever since then, we've been plagued by these specters.
Well, now hang on a second. Just back up right there. Stop putting yourselves down, all right? Farmers can be quite magical.
I've been farming for 72 years. I don't know anything about being magical. That was multiple accents that came out on that one.
Trust me, I'm feeling that.
That went from Brooklyn to Alabama real fast, and I wasn't ready for it.
All right, well, she's looking for some sort of magic.
He's trying to sound more sophisticated because there's visitors in town.
Thomas,
Yeah, as you
you're part of the Society of Magical Diggers, aren't you?
That I am. And as a matter of fact, is this witch in a secret relationship with a great voice man? Never mind, don't answer that. Where were they last spotted?
Well, the last time we saw her, she was taking off in the woods in the direction of the graveyard. Well, that might make sense on why it's all of the specters. Perhaps she's in the graveyard.
Graveyard, you say?
Well,
I'm
that's
just
right.
the man for your job.
yes, Thomas, that sounds exactly like your specialty. We should head there immediately.
To the graves. Oh, well, not to the graveyard.
We got to follow
Yard.
the tracks, and then, if it takes us to the graveyard, then by all means, the graveyard. But
Thomas knows all about the yard.
I mean, it's in his name, right?
What do you mean by that?
Elaborate.
He, I don't know.
I don't think we should. Let's.
He knows all about the graveyard.
Hey,
He's
guys,
a digger.
this is a really stimulating conversation and everything, but I really want to go back to killing some things. So maybe we should get ourselves going.
Yes, let's follow
Yes,
the trail.
Yeah,
Please.
your little light prick was very impressive, Massimo. I'm guessing you just didn't want to hurt any civilians, so you're not using your full power.
Excuse me? I'm sorry, can you summon the light like I just did? On a
I can.
cloudy night like this? I mean, I don't think
It's a
the
full
moon was
moon.
even showing when I did that. So,
It's a full moon.
yeah,
I mean,
but there was a cloud over it when you know what? Forget it.
I can.
Hey, Aaliyah, can you do that? Can we see?
I'll do it when it's necessary.
Hey, would you like some cookies for the road?
That I would.
Yeah, yes, please. Thank you.
Take-
I don't need
take
your
them,
pity
take-
cookies. Okay, I'll have some of the cookies.
Pity cookie. You've offended my wife. Get out of my house.
Oh shit!
Shotgun.
I've been here before. Let's go.
Run faster, Thomas. I hear banjo music.
Before they accuse me of stealing,
TV.
Paddle faster. I hear banjos.
and then take a bite.
Jada, what happened to the TV? I'm smoking the damn TV.
I just want to talk to him.
All right.
Did Thomas take all the copper in the house?
Not this time.
Did Cricket take all the copper in the house? I'm sorry. He's the drug addict.
Hey. Hey, guys. How you doing?
Oh, shit, he's back.
Did somebody say copper?
Is somebody a copper? Yeah, so you guys are to recap this really quick for Chad, who's just confused. The town is being plagued by these ghosts. Allegedly, there was some kind of witch who came in trying to seek help in some way and showing off this magical chalice, requesting aid from the townsfolk. Though it seems like no one really understands what she was really talking about. Certainly these people have no idea what's going on, and whatever is happening is resulting, it seems to allegedly be resulting in these specters floating around. Massimo, as you step out, yes?
I was going to ask, does that chalice sound like something any of us have ever heard of? Maybe even in passing, like maybe some kind of powerful artifact in our studies or something of that nature?
That's an interesting question. Anybody who'd like to roll a mysticism or a history check?
Ooh, I got
Go
a +1 in that old mysticism.
Ooh.
Sure.
But I roll like shit, so I got a
Got a
9.
natural 20.
Come on.
Only an 8 for me, so someone got it.
Got a 15.
I got a 9 with my plus.
Thomas, what'd you get?
15. I'm going with
15.
mysticism.
Okay, 15. Aaliyah?
I got a 9.
Okay. Massimo, you definitely figured this out. Thomas, I'll get to you. I'll explain your piece in a second. Massimo, when you hear the idea of a chalice and the fact that you're seeing these specters, you know for a fact that you've heard of these stories about some kind of a chalice of beginnings. This is something that is kind of a legendary artifact of sorts. This is kind of putting 2 and 2 together, especially the fact that you're seeing green coming off of these specters. There's some kind of a green magical energy, which means that this is based in chaos magic. Which again ties into the idea of this being the chalice of beginnings, which is in legend used to raise the dead. Most people who have come into contact with this do not live long enough afterwards. It is something that the Inquisitorius considers a very valuable artifact that should be either recovered or destroyed with proof of destruction so that it can't fall into the wrong hands again. Thomas, did you mysticism or history?
Mysticism.
On a mysticism, so Thomas, you've heard of legends, and maybe you probably wouldn't heard of the specificity of this chalice of beginnings, but you have heard legends of artifacts that are intended to raise people from the dead. So you would know that, and you would also know up to chaos magic is truly dangerous, and this is definitely chaos magic, based on the ectoplasm that's being left behind.
Pure chaos.
So I think
Chalices of chaos magic sounds like a load of hooey.
No, it's gotta be that. I mean, there's only one chalice like that. I mean, this green energy we're looking at here is some sort of chaos magic. The chalice of beginnings happens to be a chaos magic artifact that brings the dead back to life. And what are we seeing here? We're seeing the dead being brought back to life. I think it all makes sense.
I mean, that makes sense to me. When I tried to reach out to those souls, there was nothing to come in contact with. They're being manipulated.
Do you guys go off and follow the trail?
I think we should follow this trail, but I would like to point out that if we can recover this artifact at all,
Oh no!
I think that would be great.
Sorry.
Okay. So, shout out to chat. I'm going to pull this up. Can you guys go ahead and describe the formation that you're walking in?
I'll take the lead. I have the lantern.
That makes
pulling
sense.
this up.
You're welcome.
So shout out to chat, specifically
Let's go.
Digger Boo for $20. Take this, cousin. You'll need it.
Thank you, cuz.
I have a feeling I know who that's for.
Digger Boo, I will need you to be specific on who this is for. Please let us know in chat. Who's that for? While I prepare the gift.
Dickerson's
Aaliyah, what are you doing as you prepare to march through the woods?
That's one of my house digger brothers. Cousins, sorry.
Aaliyah.
That's
Oh,
you,
what?
JT.
I'm sorry.
JT.
You
What are
forgot
doing
your own
as-
name.
See, Aria, Aaliyah, it's too close.
Just call.
Glad it
just
wasn't me,
call-
though.
You should just call me Nightsmith and him Drakenberg at this point.
I was reading the chat. What'd you say?
What are you doing in preparation for walking into the woods?
I'm saying my prayers to the gods that grant me my undead murdering magic, but they're very quiet to myself because I'm very solitary. Silly woman.
Okay. And you are going to find, and I will send it over. You guys successfully find, laying there in a nice little pouch, just in the kind of a corner of one of the houses, just sitting on the ground.
I don't want to step on your toes here, but can we say that one of the cookies was a fortune cookie and you opened it?
You open the fortune cookie and it says, "Check behind the house." And so as you look over, you see laying there on the ground is a pouch gift similar to the spell you found before. And we got word it is officially for Thomas Diggerson. The mods have spoken. Thomas Diggerson, do you go and pick it up?
Yes, I will.
Well, the digger boo is
All right.
spoken.
You open the package and you see that inside there are these gauntlets that you could put on your hands that are used for punching. Do you choose to keep them or do you give them to someone else?
I've never been much for a punching digger. Anyone else like to punch?
Oh, that's too easy.
Oh, fine. I'll put them on.
And thus he starts his boxing career.
Okay. So I will send you the stats for the gauntlets, and you can choose to use these.
That's typical.
All right. And with that,
this makes me want to break someone's back. I want to put someone down.
in an effort to keep us moving on time, is there anything else you guys want to do in town, or are we good to jump ahead a little bit?
I think
good.
I think we're good.
Okay. You guys are going to follow that trail of green ectoplasm goo. Along the way, you're going to hear more screams coming from kind of beyond in the distance in undiscernible locations. And it's similar in screams that you heard when you were first entering the town. And you kind of realize something, that those screams are the specters themselves, which indicates that there are now specters beyond in the woods, probably coming in your general direction, though you do not see them. And there are other parts of the town you just didn't cross into as well. So there could be more specters in the town. But as you press on ahead, eventually you come to a clearing. And you see the graveyard is set. And up on a hill, you see that there is this a fountain of large green energy pouring up into the sky, and what looks like a giant fountain, like off in the distance, way off in the distance, a fountain of green energy pouring upwards and outwards like a giant fountain, and then coming down and cascading down to create something of a big green film barrier surrounding the top of this hill. So, all around you, you see that there are these headstones and graves, and you're actually watching as in the distance, not even close to you, you see as the specters are what looks like being pulled up out of the graves, and then just are dragged along until eventually they just start floating lifeless, going down in the directions that they're being forced to go. They're not looking at you. They're not moving towards your direction. They're going straight into the town.
Oh, I'm just a
I'm
simple
seeing-
inquisitor, but I don't think that's good.
That does seem like a problem.
They're besmirching a grave. This was a grave mistake.
Should we fight the specters or cut it off at the source, boys? And, Aria?
I mean, can we even get through that? That looks like some kind of barrier, right?
I think I could make it through. My style is impetuous. My defenses are impregnable. I'm gonna eat his babies.
Digger, are you feeling okay?
I think those gloves are turning him into something else. Is that what's that on your face? Is that a when did you have a tattoo?
I'm gonna eat his babies. Let me in there.
Oh, you could have said something far worse.
Wait, where did Thomas go? This is his cousin Mike.
Mike Thomas Diggerson.
Iron Mike Thomas Dickerson.
Iron Mike Thomas. As you guys stand there, and you as you're looking around, you're seeing that all these specters are being pulled up out of their graves. You hear a voice, command booming out from that giant fountain. Leave this place now. And it's this kind of low rumbling voice, and it's not something that you hear physically. It kind of pierces through you spiritually.
Male or female?
Leave this. It switches between what sounds feminine and then turns into a form of like corrupted, dark. So it's leave this place now.
Like a smoker.
Like
Just like
this
my
girl's
dog.
been smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day for the last 17 years.
So Selma from Night Court.
That's definitely a witch.
Now that's a deep cut.
Pretty deep.
You
which
guys heard
point-
that, right? You felt that?
Yes, that did not feel like the normal spirits have communed with at all.
This bitch is corrupt.
Yes, we probably have to do something about that.
Yeah, fat chance of us leaving there. Ominous voice in the sky.
Matter of fact, we're coming on in. Let's go.
And with that, my friends, that is where we are going to end it for tonight. We are going to hold as the group is charging in to find out what is happening here in the town of Bambaro. To everybody out there watching, you got to come back next week to find out what happens next. Hopefully, we have another +1 to this group. Let's go around and play our outros. I don't have outro music, but let's just pretend it's like old style piano music. Starting with Commander N. Go ahead and tell us what you're working on.
I'm Commander N. You can catch me here for this very fun so far mini series next week and the week after that, and so on until it's done. Otherwise, I'm with our good friends Moss and JJ on their channel, Tales from the Dragon's Tavern, or I hang out with my brother on his channel, Puerto Rican Pistolero. And let's go on to Laylines.
Well, you can find me usually in your mom's room making it sound like mac and cheese, but when I'm not there, you can find my music at Laylines or Fires of the Albatross.
That is some very Diggerson activity.
You can also find me on this channel tomorrow for Star Wars Dawn of Defiance. And you can find me over on the Kaiju Watch Rumble or the Savage Talk Kick for our show Kaiju Watch. And then right after this, we'll be playing Fortnite. So I'll throw it over to Velrock.
Yeah, if you guys want to check out what I do, go to myminifactory.com, Velrock Art Miniatures. Go get yourself some minis for your TTRPGs, assuming you have a printer. I sell all the digital files there. And in fact, as long as everyone here is okay with it, the characters for this little miniature game will be on my store at some point.
Oh,
So,
hell yeah. That's awesome.
JT?
Have me.
I'll need 10 cents for every mini sold.
Yeah. No.
Then no.
I will be playing Fortnite new season with Caleb right after this, as he just said, which will be a lot of fun. So come check us out, and then come check me out Sunday for Rifts is back after a 2-week layoff because of Circus being other places and me being in MegaCon. And then please sign up to my Discord so you can audition for the cool werewolf game we got coming up very soon, run by Mega Reacts. And the rest of that stuff is on my link tree. Stuff with Moss, stuff with Moonskull, all that cool stuff that y'all know about. Y'all can find out there. I'll give it back to the
Beautiful.
that wonderfully bearded freak to my left.
You know, this thing is a real pain in the ass to do games with. But it's all part of the show. That's Hollywood, baby. So, yeah, thanks for Moonskull for allowing us to do this. This has been a lot of fun. We will be here every Friday from 10 to midnight for the next couple of weeks, so please come and hang out with us, and that'll, of course, lead into the Strange Aeons game, which will be starting when we're done here. There's a lot more happening here. They're barely scratching the surface on what's really going on, so I'm excited. We haven't even gotten to the vampire stuff yet. The vampire stuff's going to be nice and spooky.
Vampires.
So that's going to be it for us. I have been your host, the Real Life Fake Wizard, and this is the Moonskull Chat. I'm going to play us out and actually bring up the ending clip. Everybody, good night.
So
Thank
long,
you,
gay
everyone.
boys.
Good night. Have a good weekend.
Uh-oh, the ears. Good night.